What if you wake up one day and were told to leave the only place you have ever called home? For millions of Muslims in 2025, this is not a hypothetical, it is a heartbreaking reality. Over 10% of the global Muslim population, nearly 200 million people, are facing growing restrictions, deportations, and anti-Muslim laws. This year alone, governments across the world have passed harsh policies, making it nearly impossible for many Muslims to stay in their adopted countries. In this video, we uncover the 10 countries forcing Muslims to leave, why this is happening, and what the future holds for those affected. But before we dive in, think about this. Could you survive losing your home, your community, and everything you have built? France, home to nearly 6 million Muslims, has introduced stricter immigration laws in 2025. This year, over 30,000 Muslims have been ordered to leave due to new residency policies and allegations of separatism. The government's crackdown has led to 50-plus mosques being closed in the past 6 months, sparking outrage. Many families who have lived here for decades are now being forced to leave, raising concerns about France's commitment to religious freedom. India, home to over 250 million Muslims, is seeing a surge in deportations in 2025. Over 60,000 Rohingya refugees have been expelled so far this year, as the government enforces stricter border controls. New policies targeting undocumented migrants have left thousands in legal limbo, while growing nationalism continues to push the Muslim community into uncertainty. Denmark, a country with just 400,000 Muslims, has tightened its refugee laws in 2025. Over 3,000 Muslims have already been deported this year, and the government has vowed to re-examine 25,000 residency permits for possible revocation. Critics argue this disproportionately affects Muslims from Syria, Afghanistan, and Somalia, with anti-Muslim sentiment rising. Many fear Denmark is becoming one of the least welcoming places for Muslims in Europe. The persecution of Myanmar's 1.2 million Rohingya Muslims has only intensified in 2025, with no legal path to citizenship. Over 900,000 Rohingya remain in refuge camps, and in January alone, nearly 50,000 were forced out of their homes. The international community continues to condemn these actions, but for the Rohingya, the crisis is far from over. China's Uyghur Muslim population, estimated at 12.5 million, faces some of the world's harshest restrictions. In 2025, over 1.5 million Uyghurs remain in detention camps despite international condemnation. Reports indicate that over 100,000 Muslims were forcibly relocated this year as part of new re-education programs. Attempts to flee are often met with arrest or worse, leaving many trapped with no way out. Australia, with a Muslim population of just 750,000, has ramped up its crackdown on political Islam. In the first month of 2025 alone, over 2,000 residency permits were revoked, and 30 mosques were shut down. The government claims these measures are necessary for security, but critics argue it's an attack on religious freedom. In Sri Lanka, home to 2.2 million Muslims, tensions have escalated in 2025. More than 40% of Muslim-owned businesses report harassment, and government-led demolitions have destroyed over 150 Muslim-owned properties. This year alone, 10,000 Muslims have chosen to leave rather than face rising hostility. Greece, a major entry point for refugees, has seen 90,000 asylum seekers arrive in 2025, many from Muslim-majority countries. However, over 70,000 have already been deported this year due to new EU border policies with strict laws preventing permanent settlement. Thousands remain stranded in overcrowded refuge camps with little hope for the future. Hungary's policies against Muslim immigration have reached new extremes in 2025, with a Muslim population of just 50,000. The government has denied asylum to over 30,000 refugees this year. More than 25 kilometers of border fences have been built, making Hungary one of the most difficult places for Muslims to enter or remain. The United States, home to 3.7 million Muslims, has seen a dramatic increase in deportations in 2025. Over 70,000 Muslim immigrants have been forced to leave this year due to new immigration policies. Many are long-time residents who now find themselves separated from their families, questioning whether the American dream still exists for them. These numbers are staggering, but the real question is, what does the future hold for millions of Muslims around the world? With borders tightening and policies shifting, the challenges are only growing. Do you think the world is heading toward more unity or more division? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more in-depth reports and eye-opening stories.